USA. Talking about winter hockey, baby. U.S. Olympic team.
Welcome to the show. What an exciting week! Let's go!
Morning, my friend.
Tom, man, I tell you what, one of the best weekends in sports, just based solely on the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
I know, but it keeps getting better and better because now it's over with. A certain amount of depression sets in when you've been watching some great athletes doing their best for their country for over 2 weeks. But the good thing is now everyone can get a regular night's sleep because watching Olympic action till 3 a.m. on Peacock, NBC, and the internet.
Now you're a peacocker.
Oh, now I'm a peacocker. I went from Fox to NBC Peacock. We'll give them a plug here and there. But give credit where credit is due because great coverage there.
Oh, yeah. Mike Tirico.
Yeah, did a fabulous job.
He did. He
Absolutely.
Really did.
And,
his emotions. He got emotional with the hockey win, and I am not dressed like this because of the Winter Olympics. I am dressed like this because it is freezing outside.
It is. It's in the
Florida.
low 40s.
It is 40 degrees in Florida.
North Central Florida, and we're going to experience that for about the next 72 hours. So, it kind of feels like Winter Olympics.
Yeah, so we can wear our hockey jerseys for the show this week.
Great performance by both the men and women's. The men yesterday in overtime, 2-1 over Canada, the same exact. It was deja vu all over again. I mention every now and then Yogi Berra's great malaprop, and 2-1 in overtime against the same country.
And I got to tell you, they were the Americans in the first period. They came out in the first 5-10 minutes. They were bringing it to them. They looked great.
But
and
Connor Hellebuyck kept USA in that game in the third period.
No question.
He took on 41 shots.
It was Jim Craig reincarnated. It really was. You remember how Jim Craig stood on his head in that against Russia. I got to tell you though, man, the ice was tilted our way in the first 10 minutes of the first period, but then it tilted back. Canada was dominating. Hellebuyck was not only the third period, Hellebuyck was great all game. That one goal they scored was you couldn't have put it in a better place.
Exactly.
That shot he took.
I think it was a big disparity in the number of shots. 41 on Hellebuyck.
Listen, we talk about these guys, but listening to the commentators, Eddie Olczyk and other people and the other guys that were on there, they're saying that this was the fastest they've ever seen hockey played at such a pace, and the speed of the game. The guys putting the puck on each other's tape. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was like they've played together for years. But that's how good the NHL is. And you had the best of the best against each other. USA came to play, but Canada was, we talked about, stacked.
Yeah.
They were, Celebrini, the kid.
Yeah, Celebrini, and, they were without Crosby.
And I think, listen, Sid the Kid is great, and he had an amazing career, but he's in the twilight of his career, the very twilight.
Right.
But I think him
Not
on the
prime.
bench, I think just his presence was missed more than anything.
Well, USA was just, I don't think anything was going to stop them. And because the women had won 48 hours approximately prior to that in the same fashion, I think the pressure was on. But it's amazing to think that it's been 46 years to the day, as of USA's win yesterday, 46 years to the day, Lake Placid, New York, a scene we remember well, the Miracle on Ice, Al Michaels. We've talked about it before. One of the great moments in sports and in broadcasting history, and launched Al Michaels' career, I believe, at ABC. But when you look at how they had to win back then in the round robin situation that they had, everything has changed now. And this is the first time USA's won it out of the 3 times that they've won it, going back to 1960, 1980.
Yeah.
It was 20 years, and that seemed like forever. That was a generation, but over 2 generations have passed.
46 years to the day yesterday
years.
for the Russian victory in 1980.
And
46 years ago to the day.
Yes, and everyone can watch it, due to the internet. You can play it back, and it's got great film quality, but we actually got to see it in real time as it was an actuality happening. So it is amazing. USA has so much to feel good about from this Winter Olympics. It started out kind of rough. Ilya Melanin's, his performances weren't what he wanted or what we had expected, but yet he showed a lot of character out there in the team performance and the gold medal.
Yeah, Lindsey Vonn was another reason. I mean, the Olympics started with her breaking her leg. I mean, it did start rough for us. We were third, and listen, we're not supposed to dominate everything. What's that?
Breezy Johnson
winning that. I mean, that was
first gold.
Yeah, I just meant the whole. It just seemed like it was that we had a little bit of a cloud over us, but we did come out and step up. And boy, I tell you what, I watched the bobsled yesterday as well. After the Germans are ridiculous.
Saw some NBA coverage over the weekend with your Knicks holding on to beat the Rockets at Madison Square Garden on Saturday, and they had Shaq get in a bobsled and go down.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you saw that on the NBA. The post-game show.
Yeah.
I can't imagine him. He would probably tear up the walls.
Did you watch? Well, just as good, just like the Olympic team, the USA Olympic team did. Did you watch that?
I mean, I didn't get to see that.
Okay, so Germany comes out and these two flawless runs. Here comes the USA team. Talking, and they bounce off the wall and bounce off the wall. It was to a point of really, it was embarrassing. I mean, he hit the wall like there was a lip, and he hit that, and the whole back end went. It was brutal. It was so bad. And then each team got worse time-wise. The one who hit the wall all over the place, he had the better time of all three of them.
That's hard to imagine because you would think that's the top priority. Don't hit the wall. But in this case, it kind of helped them out. Hard to imagine. But Alyssa Liu with the fine performance and wearing the gold and having the gold medal, it was just a beautiful time right there.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say this, but if you remember 1980, I mean, I was younger a lot. I was a young kid, but I still remember the country was in chaos. You know what I mean? It really was.
The Iranian hostage crisis.
And we weren't sure if we were going. I remember that whole thing. And if if you're not familiar with it, you can watch the movie Miracle with about the U.S. hockey team.
It was always like day 144, America held hostage, which actually turned into ABC News' Nightline after a while with Ted Koppel because it took so long.
Yeah, no, it did. And it was just, the country was just down. The gas prices, the lines, all that stuff was all. But I can tell you, the country got such a lift from that 1980 Olympic thing. As silly as it sounds, the hockey game, you know how sports just brings people together. It does. And I think yesterday, we're a country that's a little down. I'm not going to say it was bad as 1980, but it's not great. The world is in chaos.
It is.
But I can tell you
which is the usual for the most part.
But for that 2.5, 3 hours yesterday, I woke up and made my father breakfast because we got together, at 8 a.m. That TV was on and we were ready with the popcorn. Instead of popcorn, we had egg sandwiches.
I think most of America was tuned in, and if not, you had the ability to record it and watch it later if you had to work and get caught up. That's the great thing about technology. You didn't even have that back in 1980. No. VCRs were just coming out and they were hugely expensive.
That's right.
You had those beta recorders.
And the crazy thing about 1980 was the game was played at 1 p.m, but nobody knew it because there was no Google. The only way you would get it is if there was smoke signals.
That's it. And carrier pigeon. That's how I got my information.
From Lake Placid.
That's it. Wells Fargo coming through the town. Hey, but I got to say, though, all in all, Norway, you got to take your hat off to them because they led in the medal count, but look at Klæbo, King Klæbo, as they're calling him, Johannes Klæbo. He had more gold medals than half of the countries that participated in the competition. Yeah. And when I saw him going uphill in skis and how that, you got to have such durability just walking uphill. But in skis...
I tried that once when I was in put it this way, from going from when we go skiing to get from one trail to another, you sometimes would have to do a little cross country. Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. And then you can't pop the skis off and walk because the boots have you you have peg legs. It was skiing was it was interesting.
Well, you got the Hughes brothers in that competition, and Jack Hughes lost a couple of teeth or something like that.
Chicklets went flying.
The chicklets went flying. Took a high stick,
Yeah.
I think from Sam Bennett of the Florida Panthers.
They were saying it should have been a 5-minute major, but, I don't know if they even had to call it a 5-minute major in Olympic officiating, but it was bad.
But I think it was great because watching him and him giving the credit, as all those players were giving Hallebeck credit for keeping him in the game.
Oh, no question.
He was the MVP, essentially.
Yeah.
And to see him, he's the picture of youth. And with the teeth out, it's like he should be presently making a recording of All I Want for Christmas or My Two Front Teeth here.
That's it.
But, I mean, he really... I think he warrants some free dental care.
Yeah, wherever he wants.
Somewhere, wherever he wants as a reward. But again, great performance all the way around.
Yeah.
No disappointment. In fact, I'm going to rank it among the best performances of Team USA.
Oh, yeah, no, teams. Hey, listen,
First
man.
time ever.
In a long time. It was a miracle. It's Do You Believe in Miracles? Part 2 was definitely didn't fall short. I thought one of the most emotional things, and I was with a friend, my friend Courtney, who looked at me, because I had to literally, when they were in between third period and overtime, had to get somebody somewhere, and literally pulled in the Miller's Ale House at like 80 miles an hour and went in the door, and it's just as the overtime was going on, and I got emotional with the Grudeau thing, the kid that was killed.
That was
with his
another
brother.
great thing. How they brought
the 2 kids out.
the 2 kids out there. Boy, if you
my
had
fault.
dry eyes after that,
No, yeah, I didn't.
see your optometrist.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the great moments in sports. Just that alone.
Just that alone.
Because he would have been on that team.
Oh, absolutely.
He would have been playing in the Olympics.
And
the wife, and then you see the father and the mother and how emotional they
I'm
got.
going to get emotional now. I'm not even kidding. And that story.
It warms you up on this cold morning.
2 brothers out going for a bike ride to stay fit for the season coming up, and just hours before their sister's wedding, they're hustling home and they get hit by a drunk driver.
Yep.
If there's any message we could put out there for people, don't drink and drive.
Yeah, we see that every now and then. Joggers getting hit in the middle of the night. People don't see them. They think they hit a dog or something.
Yeah.
They don't stop.
And they don't stop
Crazy.
for a dog either.
Oh, I mean, around here you could hit a deer or something.
No,
like
around
that. They
here
jump
you
out.
could hit anything.
Suicidal deers.
Yeah, no, we have what are the armadillos? I hit
Armadillos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't do well for the rim.
No, I always see them laying on their back, stiff as a board.
Yeah.
Hey, NHL will return to action on Thursday. the 25th.
Yeah.
So that's.
I'm not excited about that unless I become a Devils fan because the Rangers stink.
Oh yeah,
Suck.
the Rangers are they're pitiful at this point. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's a long season. There's only about maybe a month left before you
I know.
get into that playoff format.
This was great, the great break. But, hey, man, listen. It's all about the NBA and the orange and blue skies.
All about the NBA, and your Knicks are playing well. They
Knicks
came
down 18.
Yeah, and they beat the Bulls on the road.
Yesterday.
They're in Cleveland tomorrow night, Tuesday night, take on the Cavs, who had their winning streak in yesterday.
I was glad to see that.
The Pistons are right now playing great.
Kate Cunningham, MVP.
Celtics, hey, they win in Los Angeles yesterday dominantly by like 22 points, 111-89.
When Boston's on, if they and right away when they come out and they start hitting threes, they're deadly.
Yeah.
I mean, then they have three. Oh boy, look at the producer shaking his head with his Boston stuff. We got to get a different guy on the board.
Well, I'm telling you, he's all about that New England area.
I know, and even
there's several states.
He's from Maine. He's a maniac. They call him.
He is. I got to say, nothing wrong with that because that's what this show is all about. In fact, on Thursday.
Oh, boy. You're going to give a main plug or another peacocker?
Well, no. About the ability people will be able to call in. They'll be able to talk about
yeah, good plug for us, brother. Good plug.
And they'll be able to call in. And I'm just going to throw that number out there so people can write that down. It's a 386-251-80-100. That'll be on Thursday.
Yeah.
An hour-long show, I do believe, is on the slate.
It is an hour-long show.
Inaugural,
so
1
people
hour.
better call.
That's right. And even if you're from the New England area, the producer keeps us busy on that.
Did you hear that little drum?
I did hear that.
Yeah, he found a new button.
It's a rough crowd.
Yeah, he found a new button.
But the winter sports now wrapping up. But the winter weather here in Florida is back again. The last probably real big cold front here, and so it's hard to maybe think about football. But let's talk about that. Oh. One thing I did want to mention.
Basketball and the Knicks?
Yeah, the Knicks. And, well, not just that. But Pat Riley was honored with a statue that's like 8 feet tall out there.
Out in front of Miami. Is that right?
No, well, in the Los Angeles area, they honored him. It's like 510 pounds, and he's got his arm up with the fist raised, which was the signal. That was showtime. That was the signal for Magic to pass the ball to Abdul-Jabbar and use the skyhook. But he was honored by the Lakers, 4 NBA championships.
Rightfully so.
2 in a row.
He'll have multiple. Listen, the Knicks should put him out in front of Madison Square Garden. But, I mean, it was too short of a stint. But I say that seriously because he's going to have one in Miami.
Oh, absolutely. He's been there for pretty much about as long. He was always my favorite interview. It was the very first interview when I would cover the Heat.
That's amazing. That had to be awesome.
Pat Riley, class act. He said if he was coaching today, he would still be wearing Armani
Oh,
suits.
yeah, with the hair still, the hair still slicked.
Yeah, well, back in 2020, the first part of the COVID years, and you played in the bubble, you had the coaches switch to polo shirts now, which they still wear.
Yeah.
But Pat Riley, hair slicked back. Michael Douglas, in preparing for the movie Wall Street, said he drove around in Miami, and I believe it was a red Mercury with Pat Riley driving and Michael Douglas sitting in the back seat, and he noticed that this is a convertible and Pat Riley's hair is not moving.
That's funny.
And he
Never knew
prepared that Gordon Gecko character
after
with
Pat
the
Riley.
hair slicked back after Pat Riley.
That's pretty cool. Well, it definitely was a figure that was bigger than, he was... He was as big as the game was. I mean, as big as, the Magic Johnsons, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Pat Riley was a star like that. You know what I mean? That's not always the case. The coach is always the guy behind the scenes in a sense with the big three.
Right. They were the big three: Magic Johnson, Abdul-Jabbar, Pat Riley. Right.
Yeah,
there.
That's right. You're right.
You're
absolutely right. Big part of that.
And I mean, who didn't have their eyes on him?
Yeah.
Even as an announcer, you wanted to see how he would react.
Yeah.
And like he said, he thinks coaches should in the NBA wear suits because somebody looks to, they need to look like a leader out there instead of like a trainer in a polo shirt.
Going to that, back to the Knicks for a second, and Shaq, I don't know if you saw the post-game interview after the Rockets, the Knicks came back from the 18.
With Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
And Shaq was saying
Shaq called him out.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, as a Knicks fan, that was deserving. That was deserving. But you know what? Charles Barkley said it afterwards.
He's not a killer.
He's not a killer.
He's not a killer.
Tell me, I got goosebumps now just talking like that because Michael Jordan and Kobe, who he said were killers.
Exactly.
And they really were killers.
Some guys have it, and you can't get a nice guy.
He's just a nice guy. That's what he is a nice guy.
You can't make him a killer.
No, right.
If you're not a killer naturally.
Yeah. And I know that sounds like, for anybody, listening to us talk saying a killer, that is the best definition of somebody that's just out there. And like Derek Jeter, in a quieter fashion, was a killer because he would do anything it took to win, and he did win. Yeah. Mark Messier was a killer, and I love those guys. And I wish Karl Anthony Towns, but Karl Anthony Towns had 28 and 12, I think, yesterday. I mean, that's the second big game in a row since he's been called out. Now he was a little frustrated by the comment after the game by the Knicks people, by him referring back to that conversation, but it did pay off.
But Karl Anthony Towns is all about winning a ring and not so much his individual stats and everything. So Knicks behind the Celtics going into tonight's action. Only 3 games on the docket, but one of them ends up being the Spurs and the Pistons. That could be possibly a preview of what might end up being an NBA final. And on the flip side, the Kings might, in their game tonight, lose their 17th straight. They're playing like the Washington Generals. Remember the team that would play the
Well, let me tell you,
Globetrotters?
the Bulls, the Knicks played last night. The Bulls had lost 8 in a row, and I really thought that streak was going to come to an end, but we were fortunate to take that back. But I'm still sticking with the Knicks. But, yeah, you're right. Sacramento, that's a big loss, big losing streak.
The NBA is a streaky league.
Yeah.
A lot of teams like the Mavericks on a losing streak as well. Hey, turn our attention to the NFL. Sad news this past Saturday with the passing of Rondell Moore, the former Cardinal.
That was terrible. Took his own life.
Receiver, at the age of 25.
Yeah, I guess he had been cut a couple of times and
well,
had some
injured.
issues.
He was injured.
Yeah,
in fact, I think his last games were with the Cardinals back in 2023.
Yeah.
But those injuries may have, it's depressing. At 5'7", he was definitely undersized as far as the NFL prototypical receiver. But he got to. What's the old saying? You got to catch me first. Doesn't matter how big or small you are. But yeah, that's a huge loss to the NFL. Our hearts go out to his family and friends, and it's still under investigation. But they believe
that's just sad. That's what's happening today. Hey, I have to give a little shout out there. We have the Flagler County Drug Court is sponsoring a golf outing on April 18th.
That's
so
right.
we'd like to, we'll keep plugging for them. A great organization. Mike Feldbauer does an amazing job with that organization, and we want to make the most successful golf outing in a long time. And what we're going to do too is we're going to go to all the golf courses and take their best players and try to get to see who's got the best foursome in Flagler County. And that's
a great cause.
Yeah,
great cause.
It is.
Well, John, fortunately, you don't have to be a pro to play in this year's Flagler County Drug Court Foundation's 4th annual golf tournament at the Pine Lakes Golf Club. That's right, Tom. On April 18, we are planning to have a fantastic day. Sounds great. This is a best ball scramble, and all proceeds are to benefit the Flagler County Drug Court Foundation. It's a 7:30 a.m. sign-in and an 8:30 a.m. tee-off. This is a best ball scramble. There are many chances to win, including longest drive, closest to the pin, and a 50-50 drawing, and so much more. I have to tell you, Tom, it's truly a great value at only $125 per golfer. It includes entry to all of the events, 18 holes of golf, your golf cart, lunch, and various awards. But you must register by April 11 to be part of the fun. So grab some friends and help others while enjoying the day. For more information on how to register, contact Mike today at the number on your screen. We look forward to seeing you on the greens.
Now, I'm not a golfer, but I will definitely be out there. And, I don't want to tear up their course.
No, brother,
they'll think they got gophers over the entire landscape there. Hey, just a brief, Jackson Smith and Jigba. He says, I should be paid, accordingly and be the highest paid receiver. What do you think about that, Tom?
1 year is what they can do now. If, 1 year makes a career, I guess... he's got the right. I don't think so. I don't think he's the best receiver in football by far.
But if he
should get
2
paid.
or 3 years,
he should get paid.
And then he could get the Jefferson and the C.D. Lamb
money. Hey, C.D. Lamb had one good year, maybe two, before he came out and wanted that high paid.
Right. Hey, by the way, the tush push may not be a controversy according to the co-chairman of the NFL.
They're going to take it away.
Committee. Yeah, they're saying they're not even going to discuss it this year. So look for it next year.
Oh, so there'll be a tush push.
Yeah, because this past season in 2025, there was an increase. So mainly it's the Eagles and the Bills that use it. We even saw the Steelers use it.
Yeah.
So, but we'll be talking about that. Also, the NFL Combine starting up today runs through next Monday.
Is it start today? That's right. That's right.
Lucas Oil Stadium in
always
Indianapolis.
Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah, always.
Got to give them a plus.
That's the home of the NFL
That is the home of the Combine. All right. Well, we got to. The race.
Michael Jordan's racing team, Tyler Reddick, for the first time since 2009 with Matt Kenseth. NASCAR has the same winner in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, 3 wins in a row for Jordan. Courthouse and two car victories.
Yeah, he gets one off the track there.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Michael Jordan, who just recently turned 63 years of age. Look at that. We're not the only ones.
Hey, easy there. That's you and the producer might be running on that camera. Not me, brother.
No, but I tell you what, though, he doesn't look a day over 62.
Well, I tell you what, I just realized I looked down at my phone for some stats, and I realized that I called my friend Courtney, who's probably listening to the show, whether she likes it or not.
Oh, okay.
Oh, either that or it's on her voicemail. I don't know if I called her but
Look, we're going to look forward to that golf tournament. That's coming up on April 18th.
Yeah. You're in my foursome, by the way, so you better start getting out and hitting some balls.
I'll have to get out. Well, I'm going to start out with miniature golf first to get my putting down.
Get your putting down. I don't care how you do it. Just get it down.
And
it's about winning.
And then Thursday, first 1 hour show. People will be able to live, call in. A lot of opportunities to talk sports.
And we have $5 for everybody that calls in. No, I'm kidding. We need the show's doing well, and I think the live show is going to be even better. It's a good time, good stuff for us, and I'm glad to be working with you, brother.
Same here.
Yeah, look forward to it. We'll see you Thursday.
You got it.
All right, bye-bye.
We want to give a big shout out to the U.S. News and Entertainment Network for producing this show. Please like, subscribe, and share to stay up to date.